Hi everyone, welcome back. So in today's session, I'm going to discuss about important topic in Spring Boot is GraphQL. Okay, basically why we need a GraphQL. Okay, and we'll try to understand comparison with REST API as well. Already you learn about Spring Boot and microservices. We are developing the REST APIs as well, but still a new concept came, that is GraphQL here. Okay, now just have a look here. Now agenda is introduction to the GraphQL. Why GraphQL? What is the importance of GraphQL? What are the key concepts GraphQL? What are the advantages we have? And will differentiate between the GraphQL versus REST API. Then once you are good about the concepts, then we'll implement the GraphQL with integration of about a Spring Boot. GraphQL is very easy to implement, and previously it is very difficult to implement in Spring Boot, but in the latest version Spring Boot 3 onwards, integration of GraphQL is very easy, guys. Okay, anytime any questions, just post your comment in the YouTube comment box you have, right? You can ask your queries, we'll clarify here. Okay, now have a look. What is GraphQL? Basically, GraphQL is a query language. Okay, don't think like a SQL queries. Okay, I will discuss in detail query language, and why we need this query language means whichever you developed the REST APIs, for those APIs, this GraphQL is helpful. It is a runtime for APIs. Who developed GraphQL is developed by the Facebook team. Many more companies are using the GraphQL as well. I will demonstrate you in the official website where who are using the GraphQL as well. Unlike REST APIs, here for simple example, I will explain you guys so that you will get a clear picture why we need GraphQL, why we need REST API. Okay, now just read this point. Unlike REST APIs, which often involve multiple endpoints for different resources, here GraphQL allows client to request exactly the data they need in a single request. I know first time who are completely new for GraphQL, this point looks like a very weird to you, right? For a simple example, I will explain you guys. Just have a look here. Imagine you have a client. Okay, now client is asking what does it means. Just a minute, guys. Yeah. Now imagine you have a client. First client is asking, hey, I want to fetch all the products. I want to fetch all the products. Now, maybe a product information as a product ID, product name. Okay, you are sending all the products. First time client is asking, so you implemented an API version v1 by using REST API like this: HTTP localhost 8080 slash v1 slash suppose fetch products. Now you done this API. Now client, after deploying into the production, client is saying, hey, I have few more fields expecting when you are fetching the products. So what the client will give a new requirement. Again, what should I do? I need to create another point v2. In this v2, I want to support price as well. Now this is a another endpoint. If you change this endpoint, what will happen? Old REST API, maybe client is expecting legacy one as well as a new one also. Imagine another client, maybe a different client is saying, maybe you have a number of clients. This guy has a special requirement saying that, hey, I want to fetch 10 fields. I want to fetch 10 fields. Now you want to fetch, imagine like this, you want to add as a description as well. Now client 1 is expecting these two APIs. Client another, maybe a client 2, imagine another client is expecting all the fields. If you have a 10 clients, 10 clients are expecting your response in different approach. He don't want unnecessary attributes. He need only necessary attributes. When you have in REST API, if you have a 20 types of requirements in REST API, what should I do? I need to create basically 20 endpoints here. It's kind of GraphQL main purpose is fetching the data, not for creating, updating, and deleting. Main theme is retrieving the data in different format. Okay. Now in the REST API, 20 endpoints I need to create. It will take a time, and you need to write all the things, everything you need to take in care. But if you introduce the GraphQL, single endpoint is sufficient. Single endpoint. By single endpoint, only one piece of code, 2 lines of code. That's it. Everything, whichever client they want, that way we can request the data and I will get the expected response. That's why GraphQL is important here. Some few people make a filtering, some few people make a, see here, this is the official website. See here, describe your data. First you need to define which data you want, ask what you want, which data you want, and get predictable results. Whatever data you want, you will get it here. GraphQL.org is the official website here. If you come down, it is a query language for your API. If you see, this is called a query language. Now in Postman, I will be request in this approach to create a response. This is called URL. You will get the response here. Okay. Now as I said, client 1 expecting a name, client 2 expecting name and tagline, client 3 expecting name, tagline, and contributors. Now you need to define a data first. How you will define a model class? As same model class, I need to represent GraphQL in a different format here. Now here, client 1 required tagline. That's it, tagline response you will get. If a client 2 expecting name and tagline, just you need to define here. Client 3 expecting 3 variables, just you need to define here. You will get expected output. Now read the point again here. You will get here. Query language is a APIs. It's a runtime for fulfilling those queries with your existing data. It's very, very important. Okay. GraphQL provide complete and understandable description of the data in your API. Clients get the power to ask exactly what they want, so that it will be easy to implement and enable powerful developer tools. Just see here, ask what you need, get exactly. Send a GraphQL query to your API and get exactly what you need. Nothing more and nothing less. Okay. Now see here, just have a look, guys, how they're sending. If he's sending as a name data you will get. If he is sending the height data you will get. If he send as a mass data you will get it. This is the one GraphQL is working. Get many resources in a single request. In REST API, I need to define multiple APIs, but using GraphQL, single API is sufficient to fulfill all the client requirements here. Okay. And describe what possible with a type system means, first you need to define a schema. To query an API, you need to define a schema here. What is the schema? My type is a character, type is a planet. Okay. Now the planet has a name and climate, name, friend, who. This is kind of a schema definition. Anyway, we will be integration, I will explain you. Okay. And move faster with powerful, even it has a some kind of a graphical user interface. Using that also we can make our APIs as well. Okay, evolve your APIs without versions. There is no more versioning here. Whatever they want, they can define the data. Whatever they want, they can get the information here. This is the how who using Facebook mobile apps have been developed by the GraphQL since 2012. It was open source in 2015, now available in many environments and used Facebook, Institute, Coursera, GitHub, Pinterest. Like more users are there using this GraphQL as well here. Okay, now let's come to our presentation. Now read this point, which involve multiple endpoints for different resources. GraphQL allow clients to request exactly the data they need a single request here. Okay, hope you got a clear definition about a GraphQL. What are the key concepts we have? Just see, single endpoint. In GraphQL, all queries are sent to single endpoint. The endpoint definition is the slash GraphQL. Only this endpoint you can make whichever APIs you want. This query specifies exactly what data is needed, reducing need for multiple API calls. You no need to define multiple endpoints. By using this query, you will get the data here. Flexible queries, clients whoever they want API, they need to define the structure of the response, what they need the response, requesting whichever variables they want, they need to send in the query, so that overfetching will be reduced, necessary data only it will be written. For the example is in mobile phone and web application. In mobile phone, if you send as a multiple variables, data will be payload response is huge in mobile. But in the web page, that's okay. But they have a different same client. Mobile is expecting one response, web application expecting another response here. For those use cases, it will be helpful. And this GraphQL, whichever query you are providing, they are providing strongly typed schema. We need to define the schemas. GraphQL APIs are defined by a schema which specifies type of data available and their relationships here, which provide a clear structure of your API consumers and enable validation at the query time. These are the concepts kind of a advantage. Just I highlighted with the advantages is efficient data retrieval and reduced endpoints. These two are the main purpose. Still some subscriptions also available, that's okay. Now to get the data, client can request only the fields they need, leading to optimized data transfer. Okay, and reduced with a single endpoint and flexible queries easier to manage and evolve the APIs as well. Now you got some clear picture. Now just you can read the definition in terms of data retrieval. Whichever data you want, you will get. But here is the response will be fixed. You cannot change at runtime. Single endpoint for all the queries, multiple endpoint for different resources. If you want to implement a chart box and WebSockets, then a real-time data feeds also it will be useful. And here we are using as a WebSockets, two-way communication. And a versioning, schema evaluation without versioning here, URL versioning here. Okay, these are the main important differences between the GraphQL versus REST API. Okay, now this is the time to implement GraphQL in our Spring Boot application here. Now have a look. I am creating as a fresh project here. Okay, now file, new Spring Starter project. Okay, now maybe here you can add any name. Okay, maybe let me make it as GraphQL. GraphQL hyphen e-commerce. Just I given some project name and I need a Maven project, group ID com.java express, and package name also same, choose the next. Here, what are the dependencies? I want to choose 3.2.11. I don't want to go for latest. It can be definitely issues will be there. Okay. Now here I want to connect to the database. Just I want to define as a Spring Data JPA, right? Where is that? Okay, let me type data JPA. Where is that suggestions getting Spring Data JPA? I need a web dependency. Just let me add as a Spring Web dependency as well. Spring Web. I want to connect to the MySQL database. Let me add as a MySQL DB as well. MySQL driver, and I want to use few more things. Okay, GraphQL. Just type as a GraphQL. You will get as a predefined starter. We have Spring Data for GraphQL here. These four dependencies are sufficient and create the project. Now click on finish. And alternatively, guys, if anyone interested to enroll our whole Spring Boot, if you want to become a Java developer, end-to-end courses are available in our portal. Just visit javaexpressacademy.com. Here you have a UI live classes, pre-recorded videos of React course, UI full stack, and Java developer course, basic to advanced. Now, who don't know core Java, Spring Security, or basically in this course combination of three modules: Spring Security, Java full stack course, and core Java here. Okay, and if you know already core Java security, then you can choose this course, guys. Huge modules are available in this course. Okay, you will never get anywhere this much course content. If you see Java full stack videos, 60 plus hours training are available. If you observe here, Spring Boot, REST API, microservices, DevOps, Jenkins, ReactJS integration, Spring Batch and Kafka, Spring MVC, JPA mappings, Redis cache, unit testing, AWS Kubernetes, design patterns, CQRS design pattern, Saga design pattern, rate limiter design pattern, and AWS for developers. Still, we are at to be upload full content we have, guys. We are providing at very low cost for everyone. Here the price is around 5,000. We have a offers also running. If you want to connect with our admin team, there is a online training. Sorry, there is a contact number. Drop a message to this number. Our team will help you to enroll the course. Definitely useful. Day to day, we are updating the course with the latest versions, and as well as new modules also we are adding there also, guys. Okay. Alternate DevOps Zero to Hero course, React course. Any questions? Drop a message to our team, your query, and get clarify, guys. Whichever question you want. Okay. Now come to our point. Yeah, now project is created. Now I want to connect to our database, right? To connect to our database, I need to define data source URL, username, and password. Let me provide here. So what I will do, spring dot data source dot URL, spring dot data source dot username, and spring dot data source dot password. These three things are required. Okay, now let me specify the URL: jdbc colon mysql colon localhost, okay, 3306 slash testdb. You can create one database schema in the backend, and my username is root, password is india at the rate 123. Okay, these are the database properties. Now ddl also I need to enable, ddl hyphen auto. This is make it as a update I am using here. Okay, show SQL. If you want to display the queries at the runtime, you can display it here. Okay, now database properties is completed. Now to you need a first a model class, right? First let me define a entity class, create a package dot model package. Here I want to create a pure product object here. There is a product is a entity class representation here. Now inside here what we can do, let me define some variables: private integer product id, okay, and private string product name. Okay, private double product price. Just a few attributes I define here, guys. Let me represent at the rate. Uh, why I'm not getting at the rate entity? Mm, go to there. Let me verify. Import statement. Yes, I think we got the information at the rate entity. Okay, now this should be a auto generated. Let me make it. It's a primary key, right? At the rate id, at the rate generated value, generated value. Here is a strategy generation type dot identity here. Okay, this is done. Now what will be the next step? Product class is ready now. Okay, now I need a controller class. Let me create a package, another package, controller package. Here, let me create product controller here. Guys, in the latest version, it's very dead easy to implement GraphQL. Previously, it's very complicated here, guys. Explanation, it will take a lot of time, but in the latest one, it's very dead easy. Okay, now have a look here. Now product controller, just I'm writing here. Now what I want to do, you need a model class, you need a repo layer as well, right? Right click, create a package, repository package. Inside this repository package, I am creating a another class, maybe a product repository, product repository as an interface here. Now what we can do, let me take extents JPA repository. It's a interface, not a class. Okay, it's a interface and JPA repository here. Let me take two data types, one for product, integer. Okay, till now no GraphQL guys, just a basic setup I'm performing to get a clear picture for you guys. Okay, now model class is ready and you need a setter and getter method. So I forgot to add basically Lombok plugin extension. So what I will do, let me generate setter and getter methods. Okay, setter and getter methods also done. Okay, what is the next step? Repository, this is done, controller is also done, and what we have, first, what is the first step? What we can do? First we need to create a couple of products in database here. Okay, now what we'll do, at the rate uh, post mapping. Okay, now public void create product. I want to create a product. It's a normal approach. There is no GraphQL here at all. First, a basic setup you should perform. Then only we can implement on top of that product here. Okay. Uh, Now what we'll do? I'm directly writing a service layer. I'm invoking here only, guys. Okay. Product repository here and at the rate auto annotation here. Now in this product repository, whatever data I'm getting, just I'm storing into DB directly here. Okay. You can do all things whatever you want. You can require this one, guys. This is simple, straightforward. I don't want to explain much information. This one. Okay. Now, okay, post mapping. Okay, product is created for you. Okay. Here what I will do. Let me make slash product. Okay, now what will happen, this API is responsible to fetch the product information. Now if you want to fetch the products, how you will do? API public void find all. I'm writing one method, return repository dot find all method. Just directly DB layer, just I'm writing here, guys. Now you can do that method. Okay, usually how you will do, head the rate get mapping. This is the ones existing. First we'll try to perform these two activities whether it is working or not, and then we'll try to integrate with our um, what we can say the remaining part. Okay, I need a workbench, right? So MySQL, workbench. You need a database, test DB. Okay, already I have a test DB. So your application is started. See, 8080 it is started. Now click on this one. Okay, and what will do, test DB I have some tables information. I have a product table as well. Okay, I have some other names as well. That's okay, that's fine. We'll try to see, we'll create a product, how it looks like, right? First I want to create a product. Okay, now 8080 product, this is my API. Okay, go to the body and product name, product price, ID not required, just remove. Okay, now here my phone, maybe 1,50,000, something, two attributes I added, send. Okay, a new product is added. Okay, let me add mi12, maybe 1,45,000, just a random data, just I'm printing. Okay, to fetch the data, what you will do, fetch the product, get mapping. Okay, just remove this one, we'll see. Yes, see here guys, when I hit this API, complete response. Now the requirement is, client is saying that, hey, I don't want product name, or I don't want product price. Then what you will do? You need to create a another response, DTO response, product BO. You need to specify only these two. Again, another one is saying two more attributes not required. Again, you need to define model class. Again, you need to define. In this pattern, multiple endpoints you need to define. Now, we need to, first we'll see in the DB, yes, two products are available. Okay. Create a time description not added. That's okay. Okay. Previously, I have an entity class, so it is using same table. Okay. Now, till here, still REST API here. REST API came, some APIs are inserted here. Now, to introduce the GraphQL, okay, first we need to define the schema here inside your project. Where to define the schema means, in resources folder, you need to create a folder. Where is that? There is a folder option. Okay, inside this folder option, I define GraphQL, one folder name I created. Okay, when you are creating Spring Boot starter as a GraphQL, see, a folder is created already to you guys, GraphQL folder. Here you need to define a schema name, schema, any name you can provide, but extension should be GraphQLS. This is the extension here, GRAPHQLS. This is the extension. Here you need to define your schema here. Now, what data you want to fetch? Product object here, product ID, product name, product price. If you want, you can add description as well. Now, here the syntax will be little bit different. To do that, type product here. First you need to define the product. Okay, and curly bracket. This is kind of a schema definition. Now, what are the variables are available? Same variables you can define. Now, product ID. Okay, now product ID syntax little bit different. It represents a kind of an ID. It can be integer, it can be long, anything, doesn't matter. It is a not null value, product ID. So that's why I'm adding as a validation check. Not equals to ID should not be null. Okay, and you need a product name. What data type? String data type. Now, product price. What data type? Like a float data type. So whatever data you want, you specified here a double data type. That's okay. Whichever data you specify, yeah, it will take care automatically the data type here. Now, this is a syntax. Now, you need to define APIs. Okay, what kind of APIs, what query we need to, GraphQL is a query language. Now read again point. See, describe your data. Now I define my data, product. Okay, now it is a query language for your API. So you need to specify what kind of functionalities you want to implement. Okay, what kind of functionalities you want to implement to do that activity. It's a query language, right? Type query and here open and close. Inside here, I want to fetch, go to, this is called mapping as carefully observe. I want to fetch list of products. Okay, what is the method name? Find all. Copy this variable, copy and find all. Okay, now it is single product or multiple products. The return type is list of products. Now go to GraphQL. Here specify an array. Now this is called product here. Later, if you have another functionality, you need to specify another method here. First, we'll try to see whether it is working or not. Now this is kind of a query here. Okay. Now, how you can map these two means, instead of get mapping, specify at the rate query controller, at the rate query mapping. All GraphQL queries is query mapping. There is no post, put and delete. Directly only query mapping. From here, I can specify the matching. Method name here same. Here also method name is the same. It will map automatically when you run your application here. Okay, now let's just run this application one more time. Okay, stop the application, right click, run as Spring Boot application. Guys, again we are saying in our website, I recommend to take this course. Who want to learn complete Spring Boot, you no need to search in YouTube. All the concepts are available here only, one place, all the things. You no need to attend the courses, everything is pre-recorded with source code, everything is available. It's easily you can crack an interview if you taken this course and learn everything, guys. AWS, Kubernetes, okay, Amazon, design patterns, Redis implementation, mappings, lot of things are there. Okay. Yes, see, unmapped fields, unmapped registrations, skipped types. Everything is empty. Everything is good. GraphQL schema inspection. Now see here, loaded one resources in GraphQL schema. GraphQL schema endpoint is, see, if you want to make any API call using this command, I should specify GraphQL. Copy this command and go to your application. Now click on the plus, it should be the post request and http localhost slash GraphQL. If you just specify the enter, nothing is found. 404. Now you need to specify the query. How to specify? Now click on the body and raw data. And here I'm choosing the GraphQL definition. See here, query you need to specify. How to define the query here? That you need to understand here. Here query, right, specify the query and open and close. Which method you are making an API call? Which method? Find all method, copy. Okay, now inside this find all method, what are the attributes you have? Product ID, product name, product price. Now copy the variables, product ID, product name, product price. Client one is expecting this response. Now see here, product ID 1, 2, 3 records, ID, name, price. Now another client is expecting, hey, I don't want the price anymore. I don't want. Now remove and send it here. See, product ID, product name. He said he don't want name as well. Only IDs are required. Now see, IDs. He need only the ID, name and price. Just remove. Which client they want, it has a flexibility. He can make an API call from himself. So without versioning, without maintaining multiple endpoints, this single endpoint is will perform all the activities for you. Maybe again you can ask a question, can we perform through GraphQL with create, update? Yes, That concept is nothing but a mutation. By using the mutation, I can perform create post, but I feel I never we will never use that activity. It's mainly for existing data to fetch efficient data retrieval purpose. This GraphQL is introduced here, guys. Okay, this is the concept of the GraphQL. Once you understand, on top of that you can learn by yourself here. Even you will get a UI also. Now see here, I have few attributes: spring dot graphql dot iql enabled equals to true. A representation also we have for this one, guys. GraphQL dot graph UI path. Okay, maybe path is graph IQL. Okay, these two properties I added. Without using Postman also, you can hit our APIs here. Now see here, I'm rerunning the application one more time. Now here you are opening the Postman, choosing, and you are writing, right? Instead of you are doing, this GraphQL itself is providing a visualization dashboard. Using that dashboard, you can perform all the activities. Now have a look. Okay, now go there and type it localhost. What are the path I given? Graph q iql iql, enter. See, this is called a dashboard. Now here if you specify left hand side, if you click, see here, one method available, find all method. See, find all method, I need product ID, execute. See, data you are getting, you have this option. Now you need name and price. See here, you will get, you no need again postman, directly you can perform all these activities here, guys. Now if you need only IDs like this, you can add multiple methods as well. This is all about the Spring Boot integration with the GraphQL. If you like the session, please comment, guys, so that we will do more videos in new concepts as well. Okay, this is one course, and live sessions are started for the ReactJS course, UI full stack course, guys. Who are interested, you can enroll. We have some offers also going on. Here also we already completed these modules. Only the module pending with ReactJS. All the live sessions are available. This is JavaScript and ReactJS. Two sessions are done. Today, basically, day two is done on 11th November. Again, try to add day to day on all the videos, daily live classes. Just contact information, contact. This is our contact number. Drop a message, any questions. Okay, so that's all today's session. Thank you. Thank you, guys.